So, when you witness something, someone do, say, whatever, something in public or in front of someone else, and the public or the someone else celebrates that person, and your insides are like, what the fuck, man? I am filled with a sacred rage, rushing fire energy to expose this person who is, yes, being glorious in their expression in this moment, but they've been horrible. And that horribleness has not been exposed, or, we haven't been given the opportunity to celebrate your honesty and vulnerability about your horribleness. And so I feel like it's a little backwards. I feel gaslit in this public or collective or group celebration of you as this great, good, aware, wise, magical person, when I'm so aware of the missing piece. This video is for that. Because saying something is kind of in the category of an act of revenge. And it makes complete valid sense that those urges would arise in a rejection or resistance of your task of the moment, which is having to hold the full spectrum of truth of this person in front of you, of the audience, however big or small, and of yourself. And that if you have not received apology or witnessed some kind of humble acknowledgement of the less than compassionate, kind, safe, okay behavior that this person has exhibited before you at some time or another, it's very valid to feel some compulsion, desire to expose the full spectrum truth. That's what's underneath the hot feelings of being gaslit. And the deepest reality is that your recognition of this is going to be the most sincere sustenance in these moments. Reaching for anything, doing any grasping at right or wrongness, any explaining, any complaining is going to feed the entanglement and add its breathing air on a fire. And so ultimately your sense of being on fire will increase. And maybe in the moments that is what occurs, there is a humbling that's happening in your system where some ego parts of you are being burnt up. Maybe your intimate reflection with this person on conscious or unconscious levels, which isn't to let them off the hook at all. It's all just to bring ourselves back into our own self, into the center of our own body and our own bubble, because that's where we have the impact. And that's where we can take responsibility. And that's the only domain of our control. And so in this moment, we gather to realize we are not alone in this experience. But we are solely responsible for our own response to the experience, and to breathe, stim, the openness, open. Because the heat, the looping of mind, of story, of explanation, of rightness and wrongness, and the doubt and anything that's arising in thought form can take on a lot of momentum and pull a lot of energy into the head. And we don't want this gaslit experience of sensing the holes in the truth presented around us, the versions of truth being presented as truth around us. To be sovereign, to be stable, to be safe, secure, to be in charge of your own experience, one must not allow, or as quickly as possible, bounce back from any letting all the heat go into the head. Breathing, feeling your feet on the floor or your butt on the surface beneath you, feeling that sense of being held and letting your presence seep back into your body, letting the heat fully circulate, letting it be as hot as it is, and breathing. It's not going to ruin you. It's not going to kill you. It's going to create more compassion in your system. And though others may use you as a scapegoat, and you may need to endure and make the most of this experience again and again, you will be all the stronger for it, the more stable in your center, no matter what anyone else is doing or saying, no matter who's on board with what, no matter what stories or evidence you might have to share that would present a contrary narrative to what's being celebrated or followed. If you're going to engage that sort of action, you definitely want to be stabilized inside yourself. Letting the heat be as hot as it is, incinerating any aspects of your own ego that would reject your mirror image, that's protecting you from the humbling of any actions or speech that you've taken that wasn't fully aligned with your own sovereignty, with your own celebration of your own full, honest expression. Celebrating both the fuck-ups, the fuckery you've been involved in, and the incredible benevolence and integrity that you've been involved in. Because we're humans, we came here to participate in both and to, through that, find the neutral power of being centered in the self. Letting all of the energy be in circulation through your body. Again, feeling the feet on the floor, the lower body. Flooded with the density that's ready to be recycled. And any grasping at control, and just notice it gently like that. Hey, I see you. And we are safe, stabilized, so it's safe for me to see you. You thought looping, or you eager to take action from a emotionally infused place that would be easy to feed disassociative or dysfunctional pathways. And hey, it's okay that that's an option in my world, and I see that option alive in other people around me, and I see some people choosing it, and boy, is it ever okay that there is some parts of me that want to point it out. And I choose to stand here in the awareness that I'm letting circulate, yes, in my head, and then full my through my full system. Feeling my crown open up to relieve any pressure to be released and recycled by source. Return back to pure, fresh life force that will feed myself, my people, everyone involved, so that our expressions can potentially be the most spacious and honest versions of ourselves, and accepting that I don't have control over anyone else, even if I pointed those things out, even if I shared all of the story and all of the angles that I see it from, all of the evidence and facts that I've maybe collected, I still don't have any power over anyone else's perspective. And I choose to let the energy move through me and all around me. Energy seeping through my feet now. This experience here and now, clearing and healing these similar experiences that have happened in the past and any occasions that arise in the future. I'm setting this as muscle memory of this capacity. I choose not to bleed, leak, waste my energy in the entanglement that's testing me right now. I choose to send love to every iteration of me that in moments like this has gossiped to others, been complaining, judging, shaming, blaming. A valid part of our human experience and expression, especially in devotion to finding and feeling our way out of narcissistic conditioning that thrives, that necessitates those patterns and practices of negativity, judging, shaming, blaming. And ultimately, there's always at the center of any of that outwards a little voice inside doing that to ourselves. Sending love there to those spots here and now. Literally dogs barking at a cat, cats and dogs. You know, it's the paradox in our community gratitude, existential kink gratitude, full spectrum gratitude workshop this morning. We explored our inner children, the believers in us, the innocents who came in still anchored in the full spectrum acceptance and approval that we are accessing now in the alchemy, the healing. We're holding the paradox. Honest, brave, innocent, underneath any expressions or experiences that we've had, any behavior that we've taken part in, any beliefs that we have held that is contrary to this freedom